Okay, let's talk about something that every single creator struggles with: headlines. We're going to dive into how to write killer headlines that actually get results, especially when you're creating content for African audiences. You're putting in the work, you're making amazing stuff, so let's make sure people actually see it.
So you pour hours, maybe even days, into crafting that perfect article, that amazing video, that super helpful guide. And then, crickets. The clicks just aren't showing up. It's incredibly frustrating, right? Well, here's the thing. The problem probably isn't your content. It's that very first impression. It's the headline. That's the critical missing piece of the puzzle.
I want you to picture the internet as just a massive traffic jam. Seriously, think of the busiest road you know on a Friday afternoon. Everyone is shouting for attention. And your brilliant content? Well, it's just one car in a sea of millions. So how do you possibly stand out? Your headline. A great headline is your horn. It's your flashing lights. It's the signal that cuts through all that noise and says, hey, over here, this is worth your time. And this brings us to a really fundamental choice we all have to make. Are we writing for algorithms or are we writing for people? It is so easy to get sucked into this game of algorithm magic, chasing trends, stuffing in keywords, trying all these short-term tricks. But the real win, the long-term sustainable strategy, is focusing on real human interest. You have to write for people first. Why? Because the algorithms are getting smarter every single day, and they're designed to follow what real people find genuinely engaging. Yeah, and think about it like this. A headline's job isn't just to be clever or to get a click. Its real job is to make a promise. In just a few seconds, it has to signal the exact value the reader's going to get. It sets an expectation. It's basically a handshake, a contract of trust between you and your reader, and it's up to your content to deliver. Okay, so how do we actually do that? How do we build that trust and make a promise that people care about? Well, we have to start thinking like our reader. We need to get inside their head and really understand the psychology of what makes someone in, say, busy Lagos or Nairobi stop that endless scroll and actually pay attention. And the big idea here is something called the curiosity gap. You know that feeling, right? When you hear something that just makes your brain go, wait, what? It's that little mental itch that you just have to scratch. A powerful headline creates that itch. It opens a gap between what your reader already knows and what they suddenly, desperately want to find out. But, and this is super important, we're not talking about cheap clickbait. We are talking about creating genuine, authentic intrigue. So how do you create that intrigue the right way? You've basically got 4 powerful levers you can pull, 4 tools in your toolbox. You can create tension, show a pain point and hint at the relief. You can add proof, use data, well-known names, or specific timelines. You can introduce novelty, offer a totally fresh angle on an old topic. Or you can bring in specificity, tell them the exact outcome they can expect. And you know what? The absolute best headlines, they usually mix and match a couple of these. All right, that's enough of the why. Let's get into the how. It is time to open up the toolkit. I'm going to give you some powerful, pretty much copy and paste formulas that you can start using right now. Seriously, for your next blog post, your YouTube video, even your next WhatsApp broadcast. Let's do this. First up is a classic, and it works for a reason. It's the number plus outcome plus constraint formula. Now, it might sound a little technical, but it's super simple. The number makes your promise feel tangible and organized. The outcome tells the reader exactly what benefit they're getting. And the constraint? That's what makes it feel realistic and actually doable. Here's a perfect example. 7 Lagos side hustles that pay in 30 days. Let's just pull that apart. 7, that's our number. Lagos side hustles that pay, bam, that's the outcome everybody wants. And in 30 days, that's our constraint. It isn't some vague someday promise. It's a specific goal in a specific time frame. For the right person in Lagos, that headline is pure gold. All right, next up, we have the problem to promise template. This one is so effective because it starts with empathy. You lead with the exact problem your reader is wrestling with, which makes them immediately think, yes, this person gets me. Then you follow up right away with the promise of a solution. You instantly become the one with the answer. Just look at how this works. Struggling with CPC? Cut ad costs without killing reach. It calls out a super specific pain point for digital marketers, high cost per click. And then it offers the dream solution, save money without losing your audience. It's direct, it's packed with value, and it speaks their language perfectly. Okay, our third template brings us right back to that curiosity gap. It's what I like to call curiosity with context. The trick here is to create that what happened next feeling, but you ground it in a very real, very relatable situation. This is not vague clickbait. It's like starting a tiny story that the reader just has to see the end of. Check this one out. What this Abuja tailor did after fuel prices jumped. See the magic there? The context is so specific and so culturally relevant. Anyone in Nigeria knows the stress of fuel price hikes, so immediately you're connected and your brain is asking, okay, what's the secret? What clever thing did this tailor figure out that maybe I can learn from? That is irresistible. And that last example perfectly sets up what might be the most important point of all this. If you really want to connect, I mean truly connect with African audiences, you have to go local. Generic global advice just doesn't cut it anymore. Context isn't just important, context is king. Just look at the night and day difference here. On one hand, you have the ultimate jollof guide. I mean, it's fine, it's okay. But now look at this. Nigerian jollof at home, 7 chef moves for smoky flavor. Whoa, now that is a headline. It's not just any jollof, it's Nigerian jollof. It's not a vague guide, it's 7 specific chef moves. And it promises that one thing everyone wants, that perfect, authentic smoky flavor. That's not just a headline, that's a guaranteed click. And this local specific approach works across every single niche you can think of. For fintech, zero-fee transfer tricks banks won't tell you. For food, rice prices up, 5 budget meals that still slap. For careers, ace that NYSC interview with these 2 lines. And for fashion, Friday Awambe, 9 head-turning fits under 25K. See? It's all about speaking directly to your audience's world, their problems, and their goals. So now you've got the psychology, and you've got the templates. But this next step is what separates the amateurs from the pros. The best in the business don't just write one headline and hope for the best. Nope. They build a system. They test everything, they learn from the data, and they let the results tell them what truly works. And you don't need some complex, expensive setup. Here is a dead simple test plan you can start using today. Step 1, write 2 different headlines for the same piece of content. Step 2, post version A on LinkedIn and version B on X. Step 3, whichever one gets more clicks in the first couple of hours, that's your winner. Send that winning version to your email list and your WhatsApp groups. It's so simple, but wow, is it effective. Now, to make sure your testing is smart and not just random, use the 70-20-10 rule. Think of it like this. 70% of the time, stick with the proven patterns, the formulas you already know get results. 20% of the time, try a new angle or a slight twist on those proven formulas. And that last 10%, that's your playground. Go wild. Try something totally out there. This keeps you getting consistent results while still leaving room for that next breakthrough idea. Because at the end of the day, mastering headlines isn't about finding one secret magic formula. It's about building a habit. It is a muscle, and the only way it gets stronger is by actually using it over and over again. So, from now on, before you hit that publish button, do this quick final check. Ask yourself these questions, rapid fire. Does it promise one clear benefit? Yes or no? Is there a number, a specific noun, or a time frame? Can someone scrolling on their phone get it in a single glance? Is it under 65 characters? Does the little preview text, the meta description, back up the headline's promise? Running through this quick list can literally be the difference between a viral hit and a complete dud. But look, if you forget everything else we talked about, please remember this one thing. This is the big one. For every single piece of content you create, write 10 headlines. Not 1, not 2, 10. Your first idea is almost never your best one. The real gold, the magic, that usually shows up around headline number 7, 8, or 9. I promise you, this one habit will change everything for you. So that brings me to my final question for you. What's your next headline going to be? And this isn't just rhetorical. I'm challenging you. Take that piece of content you're working on right now, apply these principles, and go write 10 different options. I absolutely guarantee you will see the difference. Now, go earn those clicks.